Hi, I'm Janet. I'm a registered dietitian. I want to invite you to the show today. We have Abigail. She's a registered dietitian. She's our first guest. We also have Dr. Matt. He's a physical therapist, and also Chef Nicolette. Stay tuned. Hi, my name is Janet Calderwood. Thank you for tuning in today to the Dietitian on a Mission, a show dedicated to help consumers separate nutrition fact from fiction. There's so much information available at your fingertips on the internet, through the TV, through Facebook and social media, and it can be hard to separate that nutrition fact from fiction. So I want to welcome you to tune in today. You're going to learn some informative facts and healthy guidelines that will help you live better every day. And today, our first guest is Abigail. She's a registered dietitian, and I'm so glad to have you back with us, Abigail. Nice to see you.
So good to see you too, and thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
And we know that something that Americans don't do very well in this country is snacking. So I thought that we could talk about the importance of snacking, some of the pitfalls of snacking, the right way to snack, what to avoid, and all that everybody needs to know about snacking.
Such a great topic, and I think that so many people can misunderstand it and think they're snacking healthfully and maybe they're not, or they misunderstand it and don't think that they're snacking healthy and maybe they actually are. So sometimes it's just helpful to clear some of this stuff up.
So the question is, to snack or not to snack? That is the question.
That is the question.
And we have to figure out the first thing that when people tell me, a lot of times people say, you know, I need a snack. I'm not going to make it if I don't have a snack. And the first thing I say is, well, how far between your meals are you eating?
Yes.
Don't you think that has something to do with when somebody needs a snack or if they need a snack?
Yes, I think there's two really important factors, is that time between meals and then also paying attention to your hunger and fullness cues, because I've had many clients that look at the clock to look for snacks or to look for meals. And I would say to that, it's definitely more important to check with your hunger and fullness cues and have a big glass of water first, because sometimes thirsty and hungry can feel the same way. And
people can get mixed messages or they're confused.
Yes, and it's very easy to do that. So have a big glass of water first, and then also check that timing, because if it's only 3 hours or 4 hours between lunch and dinner, it's really most likely not necessary for you to have a snack in there.
So unless you're Santa Claus, you're saying to check the time and see, because if you really are balancing your meals with an important array of vitamins, minerals, and macronutrients like proteins, healthy fats, and carbohydrates, then you should be satisfied until at least 4 hours later, correct?
Correct. I mean, there's always variabilities. I'm pregnant right now, so I have to be a little bit more pay attention to those hunger and fullness cues. Also, if you've had a big workout that day, something like that. But for most people, 4 hours, especially considering the fact that you've had a well-balanced meal prior, 4 hours should be enough time to be able to make it to that next meal for sure.
And then when do you recommend that people actually consider having a snack?
So, I mean, it depends on the timing, of course, as we just talked about. Mm-hmm. So it really, again, number one, recommending to check those hunger and fullness cues. I think sometimes in America, we just check our watches, or we get bored, or there's so many other factors that go into eating. Mm-hmm. So really checking, make sure that you're hungry. But you know, if you're going 6-7 hours between meals, that would be a time in the middle there that you would want to have something high in protein, some good carbohydrates that are high in fiber. Something like, say, a piece of fruit and some almonds together would be an awesome snack, or veggies and hummus and maybe a few whole wheat crackers, those types of things.
A little combination.
Absolutely, yes.
So you're against the vending machine, the evil vending machine where people don't come prepared to the office and they're sort of looking in the vending machine trying to figure out, is it eeny, meeny, miny, mo, or could there actually be something healthy in there?
I think you bring up a very good point that pre-planning is huge when it comes to snacking, because if you kind of, oops, I'm starving, and it's 5 hours after lunch and you're still at work and you go to the vending machines, usually nothing good is going to happen there.
Or even if you go to the employee area where there's donuts and all kinds
People
of...
bring in their snacks or different...
They empty their cupboards, and anything that is left over from the weekend that they don't want to get stuck eating at home, they just stick it in the office table.
Very good point there,
So-
yes. So staying away from those areas is very key, and bringing your own snack from home, because that's something that you can absolutely control. And even if it's maybe not the perfect snack that you're bringing, it's most likely going to be better than anything you found in the lunchroom and or from those vending machines.
Okay, and so when we talk about snack, you talked about protein and carbohydrates. Give us some examples that people can consider as a snacking option.
Okay, so I think that's huge too, talking about maybe a specific amount of calories, but really more so thinking about those protein, carbohydrates, and some healthy fats in there for making up that snack. Something that's going to be around 100 to 200 calories you'd think would be a snack. I've heard so often people talking about, oh, should I eat 6 meals a day? And really what I've read throughout studies is that people end up eating 6 meals a day, and it's not actually small meals, and they end up consuming way more calories and not necessarily any better calories. So really thinking about the composition of that snack and making sure that it's not giant or waiting until you're too starving to be able to make good choices.
When you think about eating 6 times a day, think about it. You're awake from the time you wake up until when you go to bed. That's like 12 to 14 hours, correct?
Yes.
And so, I mean, you're eating 2 to 3 hours. You're thinking about food all the time. Absolutely. I can't see how that could be a realistic way to live. You're thinking about food all the time. The chances are you're going to be eating more calories than you need to. And even if it's healthy foods. Oh, well, I'm snacking on almonds and, mini pretzels, maybe no added salt pretzels. I actually just had a conversation with a friend of mine a couple of weeks ago, and she said, I just can't figure out why I'm not losing weight. I said, well, tell me what you're doing. She's like, well, I get up at 4 o'clock and I have a handful of almonds, and that's at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, gee, okay. And then she's like, at 7 o'clock I'm having a half a bagel with light cream cheese and an egg. And then she's eating every 2 to 3 hours. I'm like, well, you're just plain eating too much.
You're like, even if those are good things that you're eating, it can still be too much.
And most of the things she was eating were very, very healthy. I mean, they were getting the 2 thumbs up, dietitian thumbs up from me, because I was very proud of her. But I just thought, you're going to have to tone it down. And then I thought, I wonder why she feels the need to eat every 2 to 3 hours. Probably she's not satisfied with what she is eating.
Yes, that is huge too. Making sure that you get in that quality protein and some healthy fats within your snacks and your meals, so that you do feel satisfied afterwards and you don't feel like you need to eat again in 2 hours. That's really key, because what you might eat in 2 hours might just be too much for what you need. And what's interesting is a lot of people bring up that snacking frequently increases your metabolism, but studies have shown that that is in fact not. There's no definitive. It's very insignificant, and there's no definitive evidence to say that it really does. So it's really more important to think about what you're actually eating at those meals and at the snacks. So we talked earlier about examples. So I love some fruit and some either nut butters like peanut butter or almond butter. Let's say a small apple and 1 to 2 tablespoons of almond butter, or a small handful of, let's say, walnuts and banana. I love like fruit and nuts. I think those are great combinations. You could also, if it's like something that you're just needing to run out the door, you could do a half a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's nothing fancy, but it doesn't need to be refrigerated, and it can easily kind of fit in your lunch bag as an extra added little thing you might need.
When you think about snacks, also something that you brought up, it triggered my mind, is that's also an opportunity to get some more key nutrients that maybe that you have omitted with your meals. You know, when you look at optimizing your nutritional status, we're talking we need for optimal nutrition at least 8 to 10 serving of fruits and vegetables a day to reduce your risk for chronic disease. People say, oh, I can't possibly eat that. But when they look at what a true portion size is, they will realize it is very easy to attain. But if you're having like even something like a low-fat cereal with a little bit of berries on top with a half a cup of skim milk, that could be a good snack.
Absolutely.
Hummus
It's
and
huge.
whole wheat pitas could be a good snack. You know,
Throw
for the
in some
people
veggies
that
in there
are,
too. Yeah.
some people like those crunchy snacks, you know, the savory type of snacks. You know, you could do, like you said, the veggies and really some fancy dips. And we have a real treat for you today when Nicolette comes on. She's going to teach you a couple of things. So we're going to talk about that. But even popcorn.
Oh yeah,
Can be-
popcorn's actually great. It's high in fiber, has some protein in there.
What kind of popcorn?
So you would want to do the lightly salted, and then it's great if you can do it at home, or you can find, there's great bags of popcorn now that are pre-made, and you can find them, they're low in sodium, and they're made sometimes with coconut oil instead of butter, or lightly buttered, or with canola oil or extra virgin olive oil. So there are better choices out there that make it easy. The thing is to not bring the whole bag with you, to portion it out into maybe 2 cups of popcorn to make it about a good snack size.
If you're getting the popcorn without all the butter and, like I call it, the movie theater popcorn, you should be getting about 35 calories per cup. So you can feel a little bit better about eating the right size portion, which is actually 5 cups of that popcorn is still less than 200 calories. Not to mention the fiber, it's whole grain for minimizing your risk for chronic diseases like cancers, and even in helping people that have diabetes manage their glucose levels better. The whole grain.
Yes.
And popcorn is a whole grain.
It's awesome. And what I was meaning with the 2 cups too, what I usually do is do about 2 cups and then add in some roasted almonds and add some extra crunch. You get some healthy fats from it, and it just changes things up a little bit. But it's such a great snack, and it really feels like you're getting a good filling snack, if that makes sense.
And whatever you do, whether the snack is nuts or fruit or even like a low-fat cheese or a yogurt or something like this, be mindful that it's still about the portion. You can't eat the whole bag of peanuts in the container. Like Abigail said, don't take the whole container to the couch with you or to your desk. You're going to just keep eating mindlessly, and you're not going to be paying attention to that hunger and full cue. A snack is really a bridge from one meal to the other.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. And then that way too, you really can get to the next meal without being starving, because there were also studies that showed that the less meals people had per day, that increased their BMI. So it was meaning like 2 meals a day. So people going for very long periods of time and then eating a ton of calories and food at those,
And the table.
and the table at those times. So they can't, it's really hard once you wait too long to be able to manage your hunger that way. So having that big glass of water, but eating consistently, but not too frequently and not too long.
And you know, and then there are people that have the diabetes, and I always like to throw this in. They say, oh, well, I have to have a snack. I have to have a snack. And that's not necessarily true at all, because diabetes management is very individualized. We look more specifically at your blood glucose levels to determine when and if a snack is actually required. But just because that has been your pattern for so long is not necessarily the case anymore.
Well, and I think that's such a good point that you bring up. The whole thing is very individualized. What works for one person might actually raise somebody's BMI or body mass index. That's just a fancy way to say their weight to height ratio. But it's interesting because snacking can be such a healthy way to bridge, like you said, from one meal to the next, but it can also be kind of an unhealthy way to fill up your diet with extra calories, really unnecessary stuff. So it's just important to combine good proteins like, say, cottage cheese, a nut butter, or nuts and seeds with some sort of carbohydrate, maybe some healthy fats, to really be able to bridge from that meal to the next meal.
And of course, probably they shouldn't eat their snacks in the car, standing up, or while they're texting.
Really trying to be mindful about what you're eating so you really enjoy. I love to eat. That's one thing I love about snacking or meals. My job in particular is paying attention to it so that you really feel like you did get that snack and you can really enjoy it and feel all of it from it.
Well, thank you so much for being here today and for that valuable information, because it will help us all snack better. In fact, I'm getting ready to go eat my afternoon snack. But you stay tuned, because we have more ahead right after this.
Good nutrition is a key to your mental and physical health. Janet, your dietitian on a mission, has great nutrition tips just for you. So visit dietitianonamission.com. That's dietitianonamission.com for your nutrition tips. If you would like Janet to speak at your event, you can contact her by going to our website, dietitianonamission.com.
Welcome back. We're in the kitchen and Nicolette is here with me. What's on the menu today, Nicolette?
Today is a healthy snack.
Healthy snack. Okay. Looks like you've already been working diligently. What do we have here?
We have a sun-dried tomato hummus and a roasted red pepper hummus that you can make at home, much more cost-effective, and add your own flair.
And is it difficult to do?
It is actually very simple. Cooking is an art. Enjoy it.
And you know what's great is you do make it look so art-like. I mean, all the different colors of the vegetables, which certainly as a registered dietitian, I'm always recommending eat the rainbow, an array of vegetables in those colors, and then accompanied by the whole grain cracker or the whole grain chip. Remembering, of course, the serving is for chips, it's only about 11 or 12, for crackers, 2 to 3. So we still need to be mindful of the portion size, but I can't wait to learn how to make this.
You will enjoy it. It even brings in some healthy fat and put your vegetable right into a dip. It's wonderful.
Okay, wonderful.
Should we get started?
We should get started.
When you're making a homemade hummus, one of the things you want to do that's sort of important is, if you like it nice and smooth, is start out with your wet ingredients. There's typically always a little bit of lemon juice in most of the hummus that you have out there. Definitely olive oil, one of your favorites.
Okay.
Because it's good for you. Fresh lemon, cumin, olive oil, typically a couple dashes of cumin.
That's your favorite?
It is. And just a little bit of salt, whatever your favorite. I like the Himalayan salt. I think it has a really nice flavor. That's me. A little bit of pepper. Some people, if you like it spicy, you can add a Cajun. You can add anything that you want to spice it up with.
That's where you can actually create your own individual flair.
A lot of hummus will have a tahini in there, which is, you know, the sesame seed paste that's in there. I like to get the roasted red peppers, which is what we're going to make right now.
Wonderful.
Blend it in with the wet ingredients, so it really breaks it down to get a nice smooth texture before we throw in the garbanzos.
Now, the roasted red peppers, did you roast those yourself?
I do. Yes, I do. I actually put them on, you can even, if you have a gas stove, you can even put it on the flame, watch it closely until they're nicely blackened. Stick them into a plastic bag, wrap it shut, let it sit 10 to 20 minutes, and the skin will come right off.
Oh, good.
And it gives a really nice texture. You know, take the seeds out. And I personally love an immersion blender. You can blend many an item with this. It's a wonderful thing to have.
That's an essential tool.
I find it to be very essential, and the nice thing is you get the ones where you can pull this off and have a little chopper. So you can chop it instead if you like. You can chop your vegetables for a salsa or a chunkier dip. So very important. So I'm going to make a little bit of noise as I blend these together.
Okay. Now, how long do you do this for?
That is an individual taste. I like a chunkier hummus rather than a smooth. So that'll go into individuality. It goes pretty quick just for the wet ingredients. Add in your garbanzos. You can do it in about 2 minutes to make your entire product.
And you know, this is expensive in the store. You
Yes,
buy
it is.
hummus and you're paying about $5 a tub for a thing of hummus.
And you get it the way they make it. This way, you can add everything you want, every spice that is your favorite, a little more garlic, a little bit of this, you'd add a little bit of everything. Talking of garlic.
how did you forget?
Oh, who could forget garlic?
I
Throw in some
mean-
garlic.
Garlic is love, isn't it?
It is. I love to do the fresh ones. It's always good if you have a nice little grater for that. All right, it's gonna make some noise. Garlic at you.
Very nice.
Just takes a moment.
Smell it.
I think I got garlic right at you, didn't I? It doesn't take long at all. And then you have your very own. And if you like
Wow.
it smoother, you just keep blending.
Now here's the finished product. We have two types of hummus. We have the sun-dried hummus and then the one that you just made, the roasted red pepper hummus. How do you vary the ingredients like that?
Your standard is the oils, the lemon, the garbanzos, and then you can throw in, if you want, sun-dried tomatoes instead.
Okay.
You can do roasted red pepper. You can choose your favorite flavors, a pesto. It's very simple to vary your flavors very quickly and easily.
Vary your flavors, vary your vegetables, and vary your snacks. So you stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break.
Eating a balanced diet is vital for good health. And good nutrition is the key to our mental and physical health. So visit dietitianonamission.com for your nutrition information. That's dietitianonamission.com.
Welcome back. We're here with Matt. He's going to demonstrate some chair exercises for people that just can't find time to exercise. Thanks for being with us, Matt.
Thank you, Janet. So that's a common excuse from people about exercise. They say, I just don't have time. And I totally understand that. My wife and I have two little kids at home, so I know kind of finding that time to exercise can be a challenge. But what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna show you with using just a chair. You can do this in your own home, so you don't have to hop in your car, drive 20 minutes to a fancy gym. Your body doesn't know if you're working out at home or at a fancy gym. So we need just a chair, and you can do it anywhere that's comfortable in your home. The first exercise we're gonna do is for the chest. Now each exercise we go through, I'm gonna show you just a few reps for demonstration purposes, but at home what I want you to do is set a timer for 30 seconds, and you're gonna do as many reps of each exercise in that 30-second window as you can. So after maybe 15 seconds, if you need to stop and rest, you can get that break and then continue on with that exercise. When it hits 30 seconds, you're gonna switch to the next exercise, okay? So the first one we're gonna do is for the chest. It's the standard push-up. Both hands are on the chair. We're gonna walk our feet back and we're gonna lower our body down to the chair and back up. Perfect. Now, if we were to move closer to the chair, it's more easy. If we step further away, it's more difficult. First exercise was for the chest, again, timing yourself for 30 seconds. Then we're gonna turn around, we're gonna do an exercise for the tricep muscle, which is in the back of the arm. We're gonna put both hands on the chair, and we're gonna walk our feet straight out. We're gonna keep our elbows in nice and tight. We don't wanna let them flare out to the side. So nice and tight, we're gonna drop our body down and push up through the arms. Again, we're kind of watching that 30-second clock. If we have to rest, you can. Give yourself a break if you're getting short of breath, and then you can continue on, and then when it hits 30 seconds, move on to the next exercise. The next one we're gonna do, we're gonna take the chair, we're gonna put it in front. We're gonna stand behind the chair, and we're gonna do a squat. So our feet are shoulder width apart, our toes are pointed forward. We're using the chair just for some balance and support. If you don't need the chair for support, that's fine, but it's there if you need it. I don't want you to use your arms to do the exercise. It is just for balance. So we're gonna drop down into a squat position, and come back up using the chair just for balance. And you can alter how far you go down based on your current fitness level. If you have some achy joints and maybe you've had a joint replacement, you can kind of modify that range. You don't have to go down as far. Perfect. So this is really working the glute, which is the butt muscle. We're working the thigh or quad muscle. It's a great exercise, help us people that have trouble standing up from a chair, people that have arthritic joints. It's an excellent exercise. The next one we're gonna do, again, using the chair for support, we're gonna do a side lunge, similar to a squat, because we're working that thigh or quad muscle. We're gonna step out to the side, drop down, and step back. So we're getting a good workout on that leg, but we're also getting a good stretch on the other leg. Perfect. And then we would switch and do the other side. We're doing 30 seconds on each. Perfect. Next one we're gonna do is for the core or the abdominal area. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our hands on the chair. We're gonna walk our feet out, so now we're being supported by our arms. We're gonna bring one leg up, keeping it off the ground the whole time. You're actually gonna work not only your abdominal muscles, but you also feel a good workout in your arms, just being able to support your weight. Again, if that's too difficult, you can come back closer to the chair. You can even sit on the chair if you're just starting out with your fitness routine and just doing without having to support your body weight. You'll still get the benefit. And then as you progress, as your fitness level increases, you can walk out, use those arms to support yourself, to really start to challenge yourself. Another alternative is you can rest in between with that foot on the ground. Perfect, we'll alternate. Good. I use the chair. Your body doesn't know if you're in some fancy gym lifting fancy equipment. It doesn't know. So it doesn't take a whole lot of time or a lot of fancy equipment to get that full body workout in. Again, determine your fitness level, set the timer for 30 seconds, give yourself a rest break in between the 30 seconds if you need to until you reach a higher fitness level, and take a break when you need to. Back to you, Janet.
I hope you enjoyed the show today. I appreciate you tuning in, and I hope that the information that was shared to you from Abigail, the dietitian, who shared about snacking and smart snacking and snacking strategies, will help you choose healthier snacks. Learning certainly a healthy snack of having hummus and chips and whole grain crackers as an additional snack. That's a great option. Now that you know how to do it at home, you can do it yourself. And then of course, having Dr. Matt Laporte with us. Always great to have him here with his information too. We look forward to seeing you next time, and thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for watching today. To find out more about Janet, the Dietitian on a Mission, go to our website, dietitianonamission.com. And if you would like Janet to speak at your event, you can contact her by going to our website, dietitianonamission.com. And you can also leave your comments to ask any nutrition questions you like. We want to hear from you today. So go to dietitianonamission.com.